All right, here we go. Welcome, 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 everyone. Now, for those who are on this call live, for those who are watching the recording, this is something special. This is the first of its kind, but it warms my heart to know that there's so many people in this community, so many people out there who are wanting to contribute, right? Who are wanting to make a difference, who are really wanting to be there for different causes, wanting to make a difference around the world. So it is super, super humbling that all of you have been able to jump on here and be from that heart space. So for those who might be a little bit new to the group or watching the recording and doesn't know what the group's all about, I'll explain a little bit about what this what this group is about. Then I'll explain a little bit about, I've got a bit of a surprise for everyone, but I'll also explain a little bit about contribution. And then what we're going to do on the later end of the call, probably the second half of the call, is we're going to have a few friends come on who are running an organization in Cambodia, which is doing amazing things. But we're going to collaborate. We're going to be really creative with what we can do as a group, what we can do as a tribe to really help them, right? They've reached out to me and said they need help, and the expertise in this community are the skills they're looking for. So this is gonna be a very heart-based call. And so I don't know if you can feel that, if you can feel the energy in me, but it is gonna be something super, super special. So I wanna welcome you all, and you can leave this call or leave this recording if you're watching it on a different channel, right? On a different effing channel, where you can just pour out more into your business and where your problems will not seem like a problem. And that's what this is all about. So let me explain a little bit about the group. What we've been doing for the last 5 months probably is building this group around really 4 key aspects. So one of them is mindset. All of you have been jumping on the calls that are once a week, and I've been coaching you through how to transcend those emotional patterns of fear, doubt, frustration, right? So you can see that you're endless possibility and infinite creativity, and I'm working from that place. 2 has been the mastermind calls, right? So it's learning expertise, some business tactics, tools, and strategies from the experts to come in and deliver that. 3 has really been the membership collaboration. We're going to be doing more on that moving forward. That allows you guys to collaborate with each other, be creative with how you can form partnerships and really collaborate so you can grow as one. And 4 is obviously what I call MAD. This group is MAD. It's actually making a difference, right? MAD. We're actually making a difference. And not many groups out there, especially Facebook groups, are actually doing that. And that's really what I want to inject. And it was super, super cool when I had the post a few weeks ago saying, hey, who wants to collaborate and help some charities and non-for-profits around the world who need our help? So many of you just put your hand up straight away and said, yes, I'm in. So we're all in the right space. We're all in the right opportunities to do that today. And it's been really, really, really cool. So they're the 4, right? They're the 4 M's. We're doing the mindset, the mastermind calls, the membership collaboration, and actually making a difference. So to kick this off, what I want to do, obviously we go out in the world and we get in our heads and we get into all the tactics, tools, and strategies. We're always in the head of what can go wrong. It's on these calls, you guys know, that we really start to dive in deep and do some deep work. So what I thought I'd do is give you the opportunity to really pay attention to your body and really start to notice what you feel internally when you feel a sense of contribution, a sense of selfless contribution, right? A sense of when you do something, not because you feel the need to, not because you feel like you have to, but it's like a calling. It's like a pull for you to do the right thing. So maybe it might be beneficial for everyone to just take a deep breath. And as you continue to breathe deep, just remember a time when you remember a time when you just gave, you just made a difference. You just were on a channel that you wanted to serve, when was the last time you did a random act of kindness? Maybe it was a time where you saw a random act of kindness, or you saw a sense of giving. And notice what that happens in your body when you do that. What do you feel? Put yourself in that moment when you were just serving from a place of, just from an area of contribution, not because you had to, but because you just felt pulled to. Just feel that. Or maybe you're inspired by someone else. Because whenever you're inspired by someone else, the qualities that are triggering you are the qualities that you notice in yourself, consciously or unconsciously. So get that sense of contribution, that sense of giving, that sense of making a difference. I just got back from a trip with my brother. We went away for 3 days, and we just got away from everything, just sat down, just did a lot of the internal work, a lot of internal creativity. We went out to dinner and paid, dinner was $40 or whatever, $45 for us, but we tipped the waiter $60. We just felt pulled to, felt a calling, just such good service. And, giving that tip was, it's more than money, right? It puts you at a vibration. And just seeing the look on his face when he was able to accept that was just priceless. So what is it that you feel? Maybe you guys can type in the chat box. For all those who are typing in the chat box, make sure your chat's set to all panelists and attendees. And Jenny's saying, how do I mute myself? You don't have to. You're already muted. So what do you feel internally when you feel this sense of contribution? When you feel this sense of giving, when you feel this sense of making a difference? For me, I feel warmth. I feel warmth in my heart. I feel warmth in my chest, in my stomach. It just feels warm. So Walt saying looser in the chest feels lighter. Yes, totally. Sense of humility that I was able to make a difference. Deep satisfaction. Beautiful, beautiful. Right? Isn't that what we feel? Now, can you get the sense of, when you feel this sense of contribution, this sense of making a difference, do you notice how you've raised your level of vibration, where you are now at a vibration where you're bigger than your problems, right? You're bigger than your problems. You're bigger than what's happening to your ego. Your ego says you need to do, right? Sandra, gratitude that I was able to make someone else's day. Yeah, very similar to Regina. Get that sense of, I was able to do that, right? You raise your level of vibration, you raise your level of consciousness, where you start to realize that the world around you there's so much more, there's so much kindness, so much love. And your problems drop away. And think about the vibration you can bring to your business, the challenges the creativity, the flow, the alignment that you can offer for your clients, for your teammates, right? For your audience, the content that pours out for your social media or emails, whatever it may be. If they're coming from this place, how much more can you reach people, right? You raise the vibration. There's just so much more. It's so much bigger than all your challenges, all your problems, and you can just operate from that place. So what a lot of people here, so I'll tell you a bit of the story about how this came about. So I reached out to a organization called B1G1, which stands for Buy One, Give One. Because when the group said, I want to start contributing to some organizations, to some worthy causes, I reached out to B1G1, and they're an organization that connect businesses so that they can start giving by just doing their everyday tasks. By doing their everyday tasks, what they do, you can connect that to donating to incredible and well-selected worthy causes around the world, and a lot of charities, a lot of non-for-profits. So they have that in their network. And I'm a B1G1 member, and I've met the founder, I've met the CEO, and they're beautiful, beautiful people. And so I reached out to them and said, look, you've got this network of business owners, you've got this network of worthy causes around the world. Can you connect me with someone who may need this help that this group can help with? And they did exactly that. They sent out a massive email to their database, and that's how we found the organization that we're about to help. And so B1G1 have a list of all these worthy causes, right? I might be able to show you. I've got the B1G1 website up here. So what if I share my screen? 1 second. I can share my screen. And so this is B1G1, and you can have a look here at the causes, and they allow businesses, like you can go through a list here, let's say of food, and you can donate to local or to local causes or international causes like this for very little cost, right? Like you can give seeds to nourish a child in Malawi for 1 cent, or send a gift to a community event in New Zealand, 15 cents. Help organize community events. You can, what else can you do? Give one night Airbnb, right, for someone, a homeless person in South Africa. You can do all of these causes. You can really start to collaborate with B1G1 and donate to all these causes. So I reached out to them. And said, who can you connect me with, right? And so that's how we found some worthy causes. Now, this group knows that what we do here, we do the inner work, right? We do the inner work of connecting with ourselves, placing the connection with ourselves as the highest priority. So we transcend those patterns of doubt, worry, fear, whatever's coming up for us. We do meditation, or we do the Me First meditation, which is meditating before you do anything in business, before you check your phone, emails, you sit down in the morning, you meditate, so that we can offer a place of creativity, a place of flow, a place of alignment where you can start following here, right? Instead of what you think needs to happen, you can start following what feels aligned to your body and not know why, but you can just do that. So let me tell you about what I came up with, what came out of me when I meditated last night. I was getting ready for this call and I'm excited about it. I meditated, and what came out of me was, what would happen if you donated $500 that you could divide between those who are live on this call so that they could go ahead and donate to some worthy causes they feel a pull to. And so that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to donate $500. It's going to be divided between everyone who's on this call right now. And you can go to B1G1 and select the worthy causes that you want to donate to. And my mind freaks out, right? My mind says, you can't do that. You have your online business owner. You need that for food. You need that for rent. You need something to, you need to be in a place of responsibility, right? You need to be responsible with your money. And my mind freaks out when that came through, when that came up. But guess what felt? I felt it here. It feels aligned here to be an example. And I don't know what charities and non-profits you want to donate that to. You don't have to become a member. You just have to go to the B1G1 website, look at all the worthy causes there, and let me know what you want to use, what you want to donate to. So I'll let you guys know once I do the math of, once I divide $500 between all of you, what that'll be. But that will be really, really cool. So I thought it would be awesome to, before we do that, and before you go out and donate, I'll give you a bit of a couple-minute video about B1G1 so that you can start to see what they're all about, and then you can jump on and see what, and really start to see what worthy causes you would like to donate to. But the idea being, when you donate in this place, you're coming from a place of giving, place of contribution, and your vibration will elevate, right? Your vibration will elevate to a different level. And I believe that when you're operating from that place, you will be able to give more to your business. You'll be able to transform your challenges, your problems, whatever it may be. And you will find a way to contribute yourself, right? You'll find a way to go into, you'll find a way to look past what you thought was a challenge, and you'll find a way to contribute. So I'm not sure if all you guys can see my screen. Who here can see the screen? Type in 1 if you can see the screen. Cool, because then if so, I'll play a video. Yeah, you can see just me. If you can see me doing this, then type in 1. Awesome, 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 awesome. Perfect. Cool, I'll play a video about B1. It's 2 minutes, but I'll play a B1G1 video just so you guys can get an idea about what they're about. And it might give you an idea on what sort of causes you like to donate to. And then after that, we can open the floor to Morgan and Sigrid or whoever's jumping on here around the organization we're going to help. And we can get going learning more about them and what we can do as a community to come together. So let me put my earphones in. I'll see what I can do here and see if this video will play. Sigrid says we're both here. Awesome. Okay. Now you might need to turn down your audio. I'm not sure how loud this is going to be, but we'll see what we can do here.
Today, B1G1 works with close to 3,000 businesses globally. And these businesses are solving different problems and adding value to their customers in their own unique ways. The great news is that we are celebrating over a decade of giving and nearly 200 million giving impacts this year. 200 million giving impacts sounds like an impressive number, so it's easy to overlook the real meaning of this achievement. In the world of B1G1, your giving really matters. We see that each impact is in fact a smile that you create. And these tiny impacts really transform lives around the world.
ខ្ញុំមានអ្វីដែលខ្ញុំចង់និយាយទៅ FA គឺធំទូលំទូលាយព្រោះ FA ផ្លាស់ប្ដូរជីវិតរបស់ខ្ញុំប៉ុន្តែខ្ញុំសង្ឃឹមថាខ្ញុំនឹងអាចជួយអ្វីខ្លះដល់ FA ដូចសប្តាហ៍នេះខ្ញុំអាចជួយបន្តិច
They've changed my life. I'm 100 times better than I was before. I've gained all my family back. I've gained respect, and I've got a good life now.
I would like to say thank you to teacher, B1G1 team, and all my friends. After my mother passed away, nobody support me to study. I really so thankful for the scholarship, so I have the chance to study. I promise that I will try to study to achieve my goal, and I will commit to help my family and all the people in my country. Thank you.
Awesome, hey? Hopefully you guys are able to see that. So what we'll do is we'll basically, while we're on this call, while you're thinking about, you know, the type of causes you like to donate to, while you're thinking about what you want to contribute to, also be in a space of what ideas come through so that you can start to contribute in a way that's from here, a way that might feel scary to your mind, right? A way that might feel scary here, where you have all these doubts, worries, fears of, I don't have that money, I don't have the time, don't have the energy, don't have the resources. You need to be responsible. You're going to lose everything. You're going to die. Whatever may come up in your mind, right? But you can start to feel from here of what feels exciting, what feels aligned. This is me last night. I'm like, you can't give away $500. Are you kidding me? Right? You need to be responsible. You need to be a business owner. You need to donate that to marketing and to put food on the table. But it felt aligned in here. And that's what a leap is. All of you guys are starting to take leaps. This is what a leap is. It's when you feel what feels aligned here, what feels in flow, what feels expansive, what feels exciting here in your body, but feels scary to your mind. You don't know what the hell is going to happen. All right? And if you take action, if you take leaps from here, instead of trying to figure out the how, infinite possibilities will show up, infinite amount of hows, infinite amount of strategies, because they'll be flowing out of here. Right? That's the real big shift that I've noticed and that this community is all about. So I love the fact that you guys are all on board with sharing this, with doing it yourself, with being examples, and it's just absolutely amazing. So we have some people here. We have Sigrid and we have, yes, Sigrid. Yes, we do. So who's ready to invite some amazing people on here to explain a bit about their organization and a bit about how we can help, how we can contribute. But first of all, I thought I'd ask, if you're feeling something different now, if you're feeling more in your body, more in your heart, more in alignment, more in flow, type in yes in the chat box. I want to see who's with me here. I want to see what is happening. We got yes, yes, yes from Lynn, Cassandra, Regina, Jenny. Awesome. Stephen. Good to see you guys. Think about what you're feeling right now. What happens if this is the platform that you vibrate from majority of the time, right? Majority of the time, if you vibrate from this place, think about what's possible. Think about the different ideas. Think about the flow that can emerge. Think about what's happening in your life and how you can transform by simply changing the vibration, focusing on contribution and focusing on what and who you are, rather than what you think needs to happen in order to feel enough. Regina, awesome, perfect. So if you guys are ready, Sigrid, if you're ready, I can invite you to become a panelist so that we can hear, see, feel what you are all about. Here we go. Welcome to the call. Welcome to the group. Welcome to this amazing community. It would be awesome if we could hear more about you, hear more about the organization, more about how we can help and the causes that you're moving from. But first of all, are you going to just be on audio, or do you want to share your video as well?
Happy to share the video as well.
Okay, great. So I'm pretty sure you can do that.
Oh, sorry, I didn't do the start video, so my fault. A very good morning from Cambodia. I'm Sigrid. I'm the Development and Communications Manager of Phare Ponleu Selpak, and next to me is my colleague Morgan.
So, group, you can welcome these guys to the call, and And before we get started about learning about what you guys do, it would be awesome to hear, first of all, a personal thing about you guys and why you jumped on board with this organization, with a non-for-profit, with what felt a pull to you, what felt a calling, why is it that you do this? Why is it that you do what you do?
Sure. I can very much resonate with what you were saying before, right, about alignment and finding something that gives you a daily inspiration. And having made that choice to go into non-for-profit wasn't in the cards ever in my career. It happened in the sense of I visited Cambodia the first time 2010, and I felt very connected to the country. And back then I was working in hotel management in Singapore. 2 years playing with the thought whether or not it was a good idea to leave a business career or a management career and go into non-for-profit. I took the leap and I ended up working in Cambodia for a hospitality training NGO, and that's how I started getting to know about Phare as well. Phare Ponleu Selpak is an art school, and as part of the fundraising efforts, there's a social enterprise in Siem Reap. So I started watching daily circus shows in Siem Reap, and it was my inspiration, my kind of happy place that I would go to after a stressful day at work. And you've seen Samnang, one of our artists, in the B1G1 video, and there's just so much energy in the shows, and that's really what kept me hooked to Phare and how I ended up being here in Battambang now.
Awesome, beautiful. Yeah, in the B1G1 video, you guys would have seen the performance, right, that those guys are placing, and this is what they do. They really love what they do, and it's just a beautiful way to give back to the community through the arts. And I'll get them to explain a bit more about that. Also, it'd be cool for Morgan to explain a bit more about what she's been doing and why she's on this path as well.
I've been working in communication and marketing in Paris before, and I kind of quit my job to volunteer for a rescue center for animals in Costa Rica, and then applied for an NGO project in Vietnam for a year where I helped with communication. And I felt that I wanted to do this job more for an NGO than a company, not for selling products, but for to support causes I like. And then I simply applied to an offer on a website called Idealist, where you have volunteer and job offers. And I just got hired as a communication coordinator.
Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, and a lot of us, well, first of all, can everyone in the group hear them clearly? I can, because I can turn up the volume. Yes, Walt says yes, cool. Awesome. Yeah, and a lot of people can get the sense, if you're on this call or watching this recording and you're wanting a space to contribute, wanting space to make a difference, these guys are living it, right? They've taken the leaps to donate their time, energy, effort to making a difference. And so that's why when I reached out to Sigrid here, she was like very, very thankful and very humbled that we have a community like this, that we have an expansive community that just want to give, right? And just want to do what we can to help out those who need it. And that's what these guys are doing all day, every day. And that's where their minds are thinking of how much we can make that difference. So I'd love for you guys to let the community and let everyone who's watching the recording know a bit more about the organization, a bit more about how they can find out more about them, and what it is that you need help with, what projects you need help with, so that this community can come together and email you guys for some support.
Sure. I just wanted to add one thing to what you were saying, Tyson, about the community contributing. As you said, I was very excited about you guys volunteering and stepping forward and making a difference, not just in your home countries or in your immediate communities, but also thinking of Cambodia and Phare Ponleu Selpak. And I think we're all at different stages in life, and like Morgan and I, taking that leap and starting a career in nonprofit is not working for everyone. But I think it's also important to recognize that everyone in their individual areas might be donating time, may it be a random act of kindness, you know, we can make a difference in other people's life, even if it doesn't mean I quit my job and I moved to Cambodia like we did, but you can help us from afar and can make a contribution to the youth that we are serving here at FAR.
Great. I don't think you're going to get hundreds of people showing up and saying, okay, I'll go to donate my time to the organization. That would be something that it'd be a good sight to see. But it's, that's a good point. We definitely can see from this vibration, you can just do a random act of kindness, something that's beyond your comfort zone, beyond what your mind feels you should do, but what feels aligned here. Obviously what felt aligned for you guys was to take the full leap and donate your time and to live out there. So that might not be the calling for everyone, right? But it can definitely be a calling to you to listen to more of your heart, your body, your soul, and to do those random acts of kindness when those moments come up. That's awesome. That's an awesome point.
All right, then I think everyone's excited to hear a little bit more about Phare Ponleu Selpak, the organization that we're working for here in Cambodia. Phare Ponleu Selpak means the brightness of the arts, and the seed was actually planted for the organization 1986 in one of the refugee camps called Site 2 on the Cambodian-Thai border. For those of you who are familiar with Cambodia, Battambang is fairly close to the Thai borders. During the civil war, lots of Cambodians were displaced. Over 2 million people were killed in the 70s during the Khmer Rouge genocide. And so that's actually where our NGO is kind of, you know, how the NGO was being born. Veronique de Krop was a humanitarian aid worker working in the refugee camp. And she started offering arts classes to the children and youth in the refugee camps, using arts as a therapy for them to overcome the trauma of the war, to give them an opportunity to express themselves. And after many years of civil war, Veronique, as well as 9 founders, returned to Cambodia in 1992. 1994 was then when the organization was formally established. So we've just celebrated 25 years of Phare Ponleu Selpak last year. And initially the organization started with arts classes. The organization that you see today has grown to much more than art classes. So over the years, there were music classes added in 1996. 1998, we started with circus classes. Then followed by dance classes, followed by theater, and the latest addition to the program have been the visual arts classes, whereby we offer graphic design, animation. So it's a quite broad spectrum of arts. But we've also started integrating the arts programs and the general education. We do have kindergarten classes as well into a wider community outreach program. So we have started working on child protection issues, going out to the communities, educating about child rights. We do have a scholarship program in place that is actually supporting the families in our communities, for example, with smaller scholarships if they cannot afford their school uniforms, if they cannot afford healthy meals. We do help subsidize those based on our scholarship system. The organization nowadays is serving more than 1,000 children every year in our various programs. And to complement the arts classes, we've also established life skills classes, as well as English classes and computer classes to give the students a more rounded training. Now, there are different pathways of education within our program. One is leisure classes, especially the younger children will come to experience arts, to find out where the passion lies, be it music, be it dance, be it theater. Then at the later stage, at the ages of 12 to 14, that's when the classes become more formalized and turn into a vocational training program. You see, there's quite a broad range of students that we're serving, the youngest being about 3 to 4 in our kindergarten classes. We do have a public school on the campus, which is serving all students up to high school. And then our vocational training students, they are up to their early 20s, I would say. The goal is to help use the arts to actually use them as a tool for social development, helping them build self-esteem, building their communication skills, but ultimately also helping them build their lives, helping them to become financially sustainable, to transition them into professional careers where they can become self-supporting for themselves and also give back to their families and the community at large through their economic development.
Wow.
Shall I pause here and open up for some questions before I continue talking about art?
Sure. I think that would be awesome, and it would be cool. It'd be cool to not only understand a bit more about how we can help, but I think that gives us a really good understanding of how it is you make a difference, who it is you help. You guys can, I was about to ask the same thing from Walt. What I'll do as well is I'll see if I can grab the website and put it in the chat so that people can see. So that people can see on the, I'll put it in the chat box so people can visit your organization. And we'll see if you also want to share a bit more about some success stories. So I'll post this here. So that's the homepage that people can visit if you would like to learn a bit more. What are some success stories? What have you seen from people going through the arts and learning more about it, and then after they graduate, what is it that it means for them? What does it mean for them personally and for the community?
I would say the success stories happen through our network of social enterprises that are working with us. So we build a kind of virtuous circle where our students that are studying in visual arts or performing arts can be hired back either by the NGO or by one of our sister partner enterprises. So we have a circus in Siem Reap that is hiring our performers in circus and dance after they graduate here in the NGO, and then they are giving back their benefits to the NGO as well. And another success story, for example, would be in our own team in communication. We are working with designers that just graduated from the visual arts school of the NGO. A lot of people become either artists and do shows in the galleries, and sometimes they become teachers in our own school. But there is a strong sense of giving back from the students once they graduated. And a lot of them are either collaborating or just, We also have, for example, in the circus, there is a lot of international tours, which means some children who basically come from very impoverished communities just find themselves after 10 years of hard training as artists that are that can be seen everywhere around the world, in France, in Asia, in Canada. We have success stories of two artists that were selected for the Cirque du Soleil, which is one of the most famous circus in the world in Montreal. And there's a documentary about them with someone who followed them for 6 years, and that is going to be launched soon. So yeah, I mean, we have a lot, and we have probably around 300 alumni now that are still active artists. And they are also participating in the revival of Cambodian culture and arts. Since during the Khmer Rouge regime, I think it was 90% of the artists and intellectuals who were killed to try to make a kind of zero, like starting the culture again during the regime. So it's also about not just individual stories, but about also a collective effort to try to get this sense of revival of the arts in Cambodia.
Mm. totally. Because I can tell by my work, when a community or when a culture has been hit by something that's been pretty devastating, it can help immensely to express what you're feeling through arts, through dance, through painting, through whatever it may be. And it is a huge, huge sign that when alumni start to graduate, that they actually want to contribute back to the organization and contribute back to that source that gave them so much. And here in Australia, when you leave school, you're like, I want nothing to do with school. You know, everyone leaves school and they're like, I'm done with that. You know, because we don't feel privileged by going to school. We're, you know, at some sense in that regard in education, we've lost perspective, and it seems like the sense of being grateful of this opportunity, not only with so much success stories externally, but internally, it would change people when they're able to be granted this opportunity to go through and express themselves and to learn how to go through that and to be able to work through, you know, their internal struggles by expressing something externally. And so that's super, super important. So I'm sure everyone on this call would love to know how we can help. One thing that I would love to offer is that once you explain a bit more about the types of projects that you need help with, a lot of the people on this call, what you can do is set up an email so we can email the team, and then you can learn about how you can donate some time and expertise towards them. But also in sharing this video is going to help raise awareness. It's going to help vibrate the energy of the people who are watching. And so everyone on here, how you can help is not only to hear these stories and see how it is you can contribute here, but also think of ways in which you can spread the message yourselves, whether it be through your own creativity of giving, whether it be sharing this video. I'd highly recommend that, but also jump on board and see if you don't have a specific skill that you think you can help, reach out and say, what is it on social media that I can help raise some awareness, or what is it that I can do, and get your own creativity going. Get your own creativity. When you're vibrating this level, answers will come through. And so reach out to the team and email them and let them know, what is it that I can do? Can I share something on social media? Can I help expand this, raise awareness around this project, whatever it may be? But also if you have a specific skill that comes to mind, also reach out and learn more about that in detail through email. And the emails will be provided throughout, whether it be on this call or in the group. I can send people the email personally, but we'd love to organise, and we'd love to sort of understand a bit more about the projects you need help with, and a bit more details about those.
Sure. First and foremost, thank you for providing us with the opportunity to really present Phare here. I think, you know, as an organization, we're always grateful to spread the message, to talk about the work we're doing and the impact that it has on the lives of the people we're serving ultimately. I think that's what it's all about, and that's what keeps Morgan and me motivated every day, seeing these kindergarten students, seeing the circus students on a daily basis, really training hard to become professional artists and then turning their lives around with it. Is really the most inspiring thing about this role here. I'm happy to share, I need to look it up, but there's a great video of a success story of Strelea, one of our alumni who is a professional contortionist in Siem Reap, and it's featuring her mother, and gives a little bit more information on the background of our students as well. Many of them come from very difficult backgrounds, having lost either a parent or having grown up in poverty. So that will also give you a little bit more of that connection, and maybe that's also something you might want to spread in your network. So I'll look it up and share the link in the call. Morgan is managing the communications team and is working with them very closely. So she has a good overview of what our needs are and where we could possibly do with a little help from this awesome community. So hand over to her.
Yeah, I think to understand the structure, like our needs, we need to understand the structure of the staff here. It's we are foreigners, but it's actually mostly local people who are hired in this NGO. There are several hundred people collaborating in total. So it's already a big network of people in different social enterprises and NGO. We also have a branch in France because we have a lot of donators from this country. The point is here is to give a chance to the new generation to work also for the NGO and to empower also the local people into doing jobs in different areas. So most of our communication team is very young. Some of them are doing it as a first job. Some of them haven't studied any proper technical communication training. Presently in Cambodia, the only university having this kind of training is in Phnom Penh, in the capital. So what we would actually need, we thought about helping in capacity building to help our community manager and the person who is doing social media presently. She would be very happy to learn from some expert in like how to write powerful content for the communities, how to manage all our channels. We also have these two designers that come from our visual school. We are developing products for boutique that we are selling to the tourists who come here. And the boutique has a specific guidelines to follow. So we are only doing products that are designed by our students in the school to make them participate in the process and also to give back the benefits, part of it to them, to support their scholar fees. And for this, we would pretty much like to have someone in also in marketing to talk about branding and sales strategy, and like product design. And apart from capacity building, we are also supported by volunteers that are sometimes more or less long-term volunteers. So last year we had a program with it was called the UAV Ed volunteers from the European Union. And one of them was a webmaster and he came for 6 or 9 months, I think. And he just did a very nice new website. The thing is, he finished his mission when the website was launched. And we did some testing, but there is a lot of ideas about a lot of things that have been brainstormed with him. And since he left, we also had more feedback from people, for example, who didn't know how to find a shortcut to find our booking system, or we have some things to edit about our donation page. And we have a lot of things that we would need. We don't want a lot of reviews about it in like general reviews, but more, we already have kind of a precise list of what could be improved. So it would be people about, with a knowledge in website architecture, webmastering. It could be someone also with knowledge like to optimize the traffic on our website. Someone with a knowledge in the payment systems to differentiate the different tax exemptions by country and try to get something a bit more attractive for the donators online. So yeah, that's what we thought about at the moment.
Okay, amazing, awesome. Yeah, definitely people in this organization. A lot of the if you want to check out the post that we did a couple of weeks ago, that also highlights a lot of the areas that need help. But that's exactly what I wrote down here is need help with social media and content, also the marketing and branding side of things, the product design, the website, so the design of the website, optimizing that for traffic and many different ways in which you can optimize it for the payment system and all those different things. Yeah, there was also what you said in the post around wanting to help with telling stories, getting some really, really engaging content out there and how to really engage that. And a lot of people in the group have already reached out and given some tips and advice, but also on the back end, I've got a lot of personal messages for some really cool people who have followed up with different questions around where it is you get most of the donations, what it is you're doing moving forward, all those different things. So we can keep this conversation going after this call. And I'll be happy to connect you with those people who are asking those types of questions. And I'll be happy to provide them with the email also. So for people who can't necessarily see the screen, or if they're looking and they can't see the chat, I'll spell out the website. So it's PHAREPS.org. And you can visit their site and you can have a bit more of an understanding about that.
Morgan is adding the email, so it's easy for you guys to get in touch with us as well with follow-up questions that you might have. And for those that are interested in maybe becoming a mentor in certain topics that we have addressed, or someone who says, oh, I know everything about search engine optimization, bring it on, get in touch with us.
Cool. I definitely do know a lot of people, and there's plenty of people in the group that have a lot of experience in social media, in optimizing websites, in understanding a bit more about digital marketing and SEO and all those cool things that I have no clue about. And so that's where this community comes into it. But I mean, it's been amazing to understand a bit more about you and what you guys are doing. So there's the email for you guys to reach out, say hi, understand a bit more about how you can help. Let them know about your expertise as well, because you may be able to help in an area that they're unfamiliar with right now. And they say, oh my God, that would be actually perfect, right? So that would be amazing. And that would be, actually, you've put the email to just me, because you're set to just, I'll copy and paste it, don't worry. Lucky I picked that up. But that's the email there for you guys. Reach out, say hi, explain a bit more about what you do, and get some information on how you can help. And no doubt that after a few weeks, few months, we'd love to have a bit more of an understanding about where you're developing, how you're moving forward, how the help's really been taken on board, and what that difference it makes. Walt's saying he's already got a few ideas rolling around, which is awesome. Walt's a genius. So this is, it's amazing. But we want to thank you for just reaching out and just wanting to share a bit more about your organization, and wanting to share a bit more about the mission, your purpose, and how you're actually able to help people in Cambodia and in the communities you're a part of. Is there anything else you want to finish up on that you want to sort of share with us?
Do you want me to answer the question, since you said it came up about our budget and how are we being financed? Do you want me to address that straight away, since you had that question?
Yeah, sure, go for it.
So the education that we're providing, all the programs that we're providing are free of charge, with some smaller community donations. We try to encourage the community to start giving back and making minimal contributions to the kindergarten classes and the vocational training programs. In reality, that amount is marginal in comparison to our $1.5 million budget, which half of it we're actually already raising the funds here in Battambang with our social enterprise in Siem Reap. So 50% of our annual expenses are covered through our own income generating activities. That leaves us with another 50% that are funded through various donors, individuals like you and me, as well as foundations, organizations that have taken an interest in either promoting arts or supporting children as part of our child sponsorship program and getting involved in that sense.
Awesome.
I hope that clarifies a little bit where the funding comes from and how we're able to provide free education to the beneficiaries we're serving.
Totally. No doubt that'll get a conversation going for people sending you emails and asking a bit more details about that. So thank you so much. That's awesome. Is there anything else that you've missed?
Thank you for the opportunity. And yes, if there are questions, reach out to us, bounce ideas with us on how we can work together. As Morgan said, please bear in mind, we're doing a lot of capacity building here in Cambodia. So sometimes our responses might not be as fast as you would expect it in a Western business setting. So bear with us. It doesn't mean we're not on it. We'll definitely get back to you as fast as we can.
Yeah, totally. I've been emailing these guys back and forth, and yeah, it's not an issue in terms of your response rate. So that'll be awesome. So thank you very much, guys. I'll finish off. I'll let you guys go off camera, and you can do whatever you need. But thank you so much.
Thank you.
An absolute pleasure. Let's see here. So it's been really cool. I'll finish off by just sharing a bit. I'll just go for a couple of minutes, but in terms of the group moving forward, I'm excited about implementing more of this. It's implementing, being creative with adding more of this sort of feel, more of this contribution, more of this really making a difference. And so, like I said, feel free to reach out, and let's get the conversations going on what charities, what non-for-profits, what worthy causes you'd like to donate to. And like I said, I'm donating, basically giving away $500 to be divided up between all of you guys to donate towards those charities that you believe in, right? And that feels a pull to you. My absolute pleasure to do that. And I think moving forward in the community, it's going to be cool to implement B1G1 in some of our calls, in some of our workshops and things like that. I think it'll be really cool to even have like a $3, $5, $7, entry on those, and then we can find ways of donating, $60, $90 towards some really, really cool causes around the world. And then we can get that sense of contribution. From that sense of giving, trust me, that vibration will help you with your business more than anything. And so if anyone's on here who is a B1G1 member, let's get communicating, let's talk, and let's see how we can combine that. Let's see how we can combine that moving forward. What I'd love to also do is create a movement where I or the community or whatever pay for someone's first month membership as well, and help them get started with B1G1 and help them contribute, because once you start contributing, your brain's just on fire with what more you can do. And it's really the platform of possibility. And so I just really wanted to see that, because what can happen is with this community, if we're starting to donate and we can start, if you become a B1G1 member, we can actually see B1G1 tracks our community and what difference we've made collectively. So if people are in the group who want to become a B1G1 member or who already are, let me know. And we can track, we can see the differences we've made across the world. It's actually really, really cool. You can actually see globally on a scale, right? Visually, where you've donated, what you've been able to do, and the amount of impacts you've been able to make around the world, right? The amount of lives you've been able to change, the difference you've been able to make. And we can do that collectively through this group, through this community. You could, in a couple months' time or a few years' time, we can look back and we can see what difference we've made collectively. And then, man, how beautiful is that of a community to do? So I'd love to build our own hub, like our own selective hub that we can use, that we can use to provide that sense of contribution and sense of giving, and actually be a part of a community here on Facebook that actually makes a difference, right? That's mad, making a difference. And so my brain and my creativity is flowing with how we can do that. If you want to co-create with me on this, if you have any ideas or creativity and how we can move this forward and really inject the creativity within the group for contribution, it'll be an absolute pleasure. I know Waltz has just messaged saying he wants to become a member. Gina or Jess, I love the contribution. Thanks so much. So you guys have the email for Sigrid and also for Morgan. So you guys can message their team, let them know how you can contribute, how you can help, even if it's just 10, 15 minutes of your time to give them some tips on social media or website, SEO, whatever it may be. That would be awesome. So cool. And I'll be seeing if this is something you want to do moving forward. But thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for this call. Sigrid just put down the link to the video of the success story. So you guys can click on that link now, because once this call's over, you won't be able to access that. But I can easily share that for people who want to learn more about their success stories, what they're actually doing in the community and everything like that. So you can see what it is you're donating to, and it'll be awesome in a few weeks or a couple months, whatever it may be, to see the difference we've made for that organization as well. So thank you so much, guys. It's an absolute pleasure. I love serving you guys in the group. I'll see you guys next week. We're going to have a mastermind call next week. So I'll create a post, let you guys know about that. So get ready for my Tuesday morning, which is Monday night, Monday afternoon in the North America. So I'll see you guys on the mastermind calls, learning more about business strategy expertise. And I'll see you guys next week on the transformational group coaching call as well. So I'll help you guys work through those emotional patterns that are coming up for you. Hopefully this has created a shift. Hopefully it's created a huge alignment for you and a big realization. So if you guys could post in the group, let me know what your biggest takeaway was on this call. That would be awesome. Maybe you can do a hashtag, hashtag B1G1, hashtag B1G1, and let me know what your biggest takeaway was. Let me know what your biggest takeaway was from this call, from this, from any ideas you have, whatever it may be. I'll see your posts in the group. I love the engagement. It's so cool to see you guys doing that. And we can absolutely move forward. So I know Walt's got some ideas here. Let's talk after this, Walt. I know we're going to be two masterminds coming together. It's going to be amazing. So thank you so much, guys. It's been absolutely incredible. I look forward to more of this. I look forward to even bigger projects that we can donate to around the world, and different creativity on how we can come together to do that. It's my absolute pleasure to facilitate that. I'll see you guys next time. See you guys next week. And I'll see your posts in the group. Remember, hashtag B1G1, and let me know what your biggest takeaway was. Awesome. Thanks so much, guys. Appreciate your time.